Hi, this video I want to kind of continue the summer theme that I've talked about in a few others, or if you're watching this one first, I'm going to start it. Yeah, it depends on which order you watch these in. And I don't always film them in the same order that I present them, so whichever one this is, watch the others too. Anyway, what I want to talk about is what wines are good to drink in the summer. Now, a lot of people think, oh, I need to drink all whites because whites are chilled and they're cool and they're refreshing. Yeah, that's kind of true. Whites are a good start, and you generally serve whites chilled. Now, if you haven't seen it, go ahead and watch the other video after this one on how to chill them down and get the right temperature in there. But let's go ahead and talk about the wine varietals themselves. And this is going to be kind of a quick run through, and I'll put some notes up there. You may have to go back and rewatch this or pause it and write these down if you want to. Up to you, but just kind of listen to these. Some of them you will recognize, others you won't. Now, I do have a list here, so this is not coming off the top of my head completely. I tend to do that and I leave things out. So let's start with some whites. Now, your basic one, you know, the all-time big giant white everybody drinks is Chardonnay. Chardonnay, of course, should be chilled, and Chardonnay does come in a variety of styles, in the sense that some are what I just don't know, it's my favorite word. They're bigger. I mean, you get a big mouthful of stuff when you drink some Chardonnays. Others are more what I call austere. They're kind of scaled back. They're quieter. And I'm using some real mixed metaphors, and that's okay because I do that. So I give myself permission. Anyway, if I were drinking a Chardonnay in the summertime, mostly just a a hot day or to cool off in the evening, I would. Geez, hair's going all over. It's a windy day here too, which helps. So anyway, I would pick one that was steel fermented as opposed to oak fermented, stainless steel. You can ask your wine shop or a person in the wine shop about that, and they can guide you on. Those are going to be not quite so in-your-face big flavors. The ones that are fermented in oak tend to be, to me, they drink a little warmer, and if you're trying to cool off, you don't want a warmer wine. You want something a little cooler in character, not temperature, but just the character. It's kind of like eating Jell-O instead of eating a cookie or something. I don't know. Jell-O, of course, is chilled, but whatever. So I would look for the steel fermentation versus the oak fermentation on the Chardonnay. Now let's move down the list. Clipboard here. All right, let's talk about Rieslings now. That's a good one. They come in different styles. You can get a sweet Riesling, a semi-sweet, semi-dry, or even an all-the-way dry Riesling. Now, Rieslings do tend to have a little bit more acid than some, and that gives them a more refreshing taste. They're a crisper, lighter wine, which I find more refreshing when I drink, whether it's actually with wine or anything else. If it's a little more, a little tartness to it, or it's got less mouthfeel, a little bit lighter on the tongue, those tend to be more refreshing for me. So that's one you can look for. Riesling, sweet to dry, depending on your taste. Now it's Sauvignon Blanc. I think we've talked about that in a different video or two. Some of the best ones come out of New Zealand, but these have a very, very refreshing taste to me. They tend to be a little acid. Some of them are very, very tart. And I find the one that works best for you from really, really tart to not quite so tart. They all have a bit of tartness to them. And again, that's kind of a refreshing mouthfeel. So Sauvignon Blanc. Pinot Gris, another name for it is Pinot Grigio. These can also be very tart, and they have a little bit more citrusy, lemony taste. Very similar in characteristics to Sauvignon Blanc. Very refreshing, serve them chilled, of course. Now I want to move into a couple that are not so common. Albarino. This little number here happens to be an Albarino. This one I opened in a different video today. And this comes out of Spain. Spain has some excellent, excellent wines, most of which you've probably never heard of, at least in terms of the grape varietals. Really good stuff. Some tartness there, but it's also got a lot of fruit flavor without being sweet. Okay, so Torrentes. It comes out of Argentina. That's where you're most likely to find it. I mean, if you find it, you'll find it in the store, but once you can find it in the store, it will originally come from Argentina. Has a very floral nose to it. Doesn't taste like flowers, but kind of smells like them. Again, light, refreshing, a little acid. A tiny bit of sweetness in there. There's some, moving from Argentina now into Italy, there's one, I think I'm saying this right, it's called Sauve. Can't spell it for you, but I'll put that on the screen once I get into edit this. Also, very good, light, refreshing white wine. Okay, now, what about people who just don't want to drink whites? And there's a few out there, like red purists or whatever. I'm a little bit that way, but I will drink some whites. I do like Grigio, for example. Anyway, reds. Should you chill them or not? Okay, some work better if they're chilled. Some work less well chilled. Kind of rule of thumb I have is it's a fairly acid, in other words, tart or astringent tasting red. It works better chilled than if it's not that way. Good examples of that, Pinot Noir. Pinot Noir takes a chill very nicely. You can chill it down. I like it without being chilled as well, but if you're looking to cool off on a hot day, put some chill on it. Côte de Rhône. This is another region, or a region of France. It's the southern part of the Mediterranean. It kind of starts there and moves upstream, up to the north from there. But they tend to be a lot more acidic. They're really much better with food than just to sit and sip. I like it either way, although I tend to like them better with food. So Côte de Rhône takes a chill also. It's one of the tastes can be improved with a chill. Certain red Zinfandels, Sonoma County reds in particular, out of the U.S., Sonoma County, they tend to be a lot more acid, a lot more astringent, lighter bodied than some of the other red Zinfandels. Lodi, for example, is pretty much the opposite. Very fruit forward, very big mouthfeel. I don't think they do well with chills. I think a Lodi red Zinfandel is best served more or less at room temperature. Yeah, you can knock it if it's like 90 out or something, and that's room temperature. Yeah, you probably want to knock it down a little bit, but I wouldn't take it down to 50 degrees. It would just taste too flat and alcoholic. Merlots. Some Merlots, the lighter body ones, will take a chill well. And occasionally you'll find a fairly acidic Cabernet Sauvignon that will take a chill. Again, I'm not too big on chilled cabs myself, but some people like it that way. Now there's another category too, and this is kind of counterintuitive. I like to call them hot reds. And these are reds that even though it's a hot day, you want them to be served warm. And I liken it to where they're produced at. Good example of that is the Tempranillo, that Tempranillo being the grape varietal. Tempranillo grape is usually blended with Grenache, and those two together typically are what you'll find in the Rioja, which is the region of Spain. If you look at the map, you'll see the Rioja region is in the high plains. It's basically a desert area, but it still produces wonderful, wonderful grapes. And from those grapes they can make some really wonderful wines. Now that being a very hot climate, and people there originally were making these wines before refrigeration was possible or available, they made them in such a way that they were good to drink at that temperature. I like a Rioja that is fairly warm. It's like, I don't chill a Rioja for me, it fills the flavor. So again, you may feel differently. Try it out, try it both ways, and make your own judgment on that. That's one of them I like to, like I say, I like to keep it regular temperature. Mentioned just a bit ago about the Lodi red Zinfandels, big fruit forward type wine like that. I like those more or less room temperature also. Other examples of that, Petit Syrah. Most Cabernet Sauvignons I think are best served a little warmer than chilled. What else I got on my list here? Those are the ones I have written down. So that kind of gives you a rundown, and I'll try and get all these up on video when in post-production. Doesn't that sound cool? It sounds like I actually know what I'm doing with video stuff now. But anyway, I'll put those labels up there so you can help with spelling, and my pronunciation is not always the greatest on the foreign ones. So I hope that helps you out, and enjoy your summer and drink wine, but drink responsibly. Cheers.